Hi, Gecko and Isopod fans. This is Wally
And Nanette.
coming to you from Supreme Gecko. And this weekend, we have a show. Today, we're going to talk about what it takes to do a show. Now, Nanette knows nothing about this presentation whatsoever. We're going to talk about the whole build-up to doing a show. We're going to talk about what it takes to do the show itself, and then what it's like the day after doing a show. I have some pictures to show you of the animals that we're going to bring. We're bringing isopods, we're bringing geckos, we're bringing all kinds of different stuff. So this will be fun. Let's talk about what it takes to do a show. You think you're ready? Maybe, maybe not. So today is Thursday. We're doing this video, of course, but we have a lot of preparation to do starting today. So today, and Nanette's going to have a huge part of this because I generally do the planning and then some of the catching, but Nanette does a lot of the paperwork. Today, it's all about the planning stage. So planning means I go downstairs, I look at the geckos, I look at the isopods, what can we take? How do I mark the store? I do things like that so that we're prepared. I grab a list, anything new from the last show that we're adding or anything that I'm taking off from the last show that we won't be able to bring this show. Then I create a list and I send that up to Nanette. Nanette takes that list then on Friday, and what do you do with that list?
Well, sometimes we also take a show list from the previous same show. So like the last Sewer Fish show, we might take that one because then we have the records on what has sold good and what might not have sold, and especially with the isopods because it varies in different places. But once I get your list, then I go and I grab all the containers from the last show and I compare the list to see if I have the cups that I need, the deli cups, the isopod cups for everything. And then if I don't, then I make new labels or I write on the top of the cups what we're going to be putting in the cups.
So I tell you that we're bringing cave geckos for this show, and we haven't brought cave geckos in the past. What's your plan? So I say we want to bring 3 or 4 baby cave geckos. What do you do then at that point?
At that point, I go into my spreadsheets that we've created. Spreadsheets. And I create the label. I add them to the sell list for Sunday so that I have a checkoff list. And then I create that label. I get the cups. I cut it out. I tape it onto the cup. And I tape my labels on the cups so that I can take them off easily and reuse cups over and over. We used to not do that, and we just had piles of cups sometimes.
So instead, we used to create labels, actual Avery type of labels, and we used to put those right on the cups. From at this point, it's been a few years. You actually cut out the labels.
I cut the label out of the paper after I print it, and then I put it on with Scotch tape because the Scotch tape, I can go underneath the label and peel it off and reuse the cup.
Sounds like a big job, but you have a paper cutter, and it takes you like a minute. Sounds good. So now what do you wind up then on Friday? What's the end result of Friday? What's in preparation then? And again, this is assuming a Sunday show. What's in preparation to do the big part of the work on Saturday?
I get all the cups ready. I put a piece of paper towel in them and I stack them. And I
for geckos.
For the geckos and for the isopods. Well, the geckos only get the paper towel. And then I stack them with their tops in the certain areas of the facility, matching the animals so that the pictus cups are with the pictus only. We don't have to run around. So when we go down, we go right to an area. We pull the cups and we can get the animals out really quickly and put them in their cups and then move on. The isopods, I make sure I have all my labels ready to go. I make sure I have wet sphagnum moss today and soaking ready to use right away. I have my vegetables chopped up for the isopods so I can put them in. And I lay the isopods out the best that I can. Most of the time it doesn't work because you move isopods around too many times and I don't know where they've gone, but I try to shift them. I think I have a piece of hair on my face. It's driving me nuts.
About a month and a half ago or so, I changed up all the isopods and moved them into different containers. And now we're just lost because it's been like 2 years. Same exact place for every single isopod. Now they're just all over the place. So what I like about that,
not all over, just relocated in a nice area.
Different little pigeonholes. So what I like about that is that we're not taking down a box of of cups and then saying, okay, go get the leopard geckos, go get this crested gecko. Here's another isopod. Here's another gecko. Go get this crested gecko. And we're revisiting the same spots over and over and over again. What you do is you take all those cups, you put them right in the spots that we're going to collect the animals, and that prepares us for Saturday.
It makes it really fast for us.
It does make it really fast for us. What do we do Saturday?
Well, let me go back to Friday first, because
we're not done with Friday.
I still have more I do on Friday. I make sure that the buckets are all ready. I double check the show buckets, which has the electric and everything, and I make sure. For the last show, I might have put a note in my box saying I needed something. So I make sure I've gotten business cards in there or whatever I need. And I make sure all the electric is still in the box, that we haven't taken something out for a silly reason for using a cord or something. And then I get the boxes with the isopod food and the Pangea ready, and I inventory those. I have the t-shirt boxes ready. And I'm trying to think what else I get. The light or the holder for the sign, I have that ready. And 90% of the time on a Friday night, I put those boxes all in the car, in the trunk right away, because then we don't have to do it again on Saturday. It's ready to go.
All the non-animal
boxes go in the car as soon as I get them done.
One of the key important points there is when we finish a show, what you just said is, if we're out of business cards, if we need a different signage, if we need something else for the next show, you're going to write it on a note and put it right in the box. And then you access that box before the next show.
I put it in the box where I have the pens and the square thing or anything like that. I put myself a note, and that's the one I always go into.
Perfect. So I'm going to go back to Thursday. Thursday takes me probably about a half hour to an hour. It's not a whole lot of time. Friday takes me virtually no time whatsoever. But your Friday is what?
I would say maybe 2 hours on a Friday, depending if it's a lot of new animals going out. Or if it's a lot of new isopods or adding a lot of isopods in, that it may be 2 hours on a Friday to get that all ready. Perfect. And then I have all the sheets ready to go. I never print anything though until after we're done labeling or packing everything on Saturday, because you always either add or remove something on me and you mess up my list, and I like it to be perfect when I go in.
I never do that.
And then on Saturday, right before when I do
one of the
cups,
points that I want to come back to on Thursday and Friday, but I keep going back to things I remember, is that Thursday and Friday we do our promo. So I'll post to social media, for my list of animals that we're going to bring eventually, Thursday or Friday, I'm going to post saying, here are the animals that we're going to bring in. I go to different groups and post that. Like I'll go to the sewer for Sunday is Sewer Fest. I'll go to the Sewer Fest and post it there. I'll post it on my page. I'll post it on Supreme Gecko. I'll do a dance for TikTok and show the animals that we're bringing. And then Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday as well, I spend a lot of time answering messages. Can you bring this to the show? I work out, PayPal payments. So then by Saturday, by the time we're ready to collect the animals, I have all the reserved animals off to the side. I'm updating the store, just making all the changes for all of the animals that are sold before the store or before the show. And I would say probably a quarter of our sales, sometimes maybe even half, is done before the show even starts. So my Thursday and Friday, let's take a half hour, but let's add probably about 3 or 4 hours Thursday and Friday for all of the communications. Let's talk about Saturday.
So you do work on Friday, then you don't just do nothing.
Yeah, a lot of behind the scenes. So Saturday, let's talk about Saturday.
Saturday, I've got the cups all set up, ready to go for the animals, and then the isopods, because I had gotten the sphagnum moss ready yesterday. I go down and I sphagnum moss all the cups that we need, and I drop the food in them right away, right before we go to start packing those. And then we pack animals, and hopefully by noon we are done packing and everything is ready. And then I can update my list if I need to, and then I print off the official list that goes to the show.
And tell me about this list. What's included on the list? So let's take a leopard gecko. What's on that list? And tell me what's on the label.
On the label, it says the number for the animal first. It tells you if it's a leopard gecko, crested gecko, if it's got a special name type, it'll be listed. And then the second line has the website reference. Oh, second line is parents. Third line is the reference to the website. And then I print all those if I need to and stick them to those cups right away. And I put them in number order always too, so that the order that you've given me, that list, I know is the order that the animals are in. And the one thing that you did a couple months ago for the last couple shows, which really helped, was you were able to move a lot of the crusteds to a specific location on a specific shelf that we designated for shows. So it's really fast. We aren't going around looking in the baby rack for something and then we aren't over here. It helped.
It does. There's actually probably 5 different racks that we use for either babies or grow outs or adults that we're selling. I think 5. And one other piece of information that's on the label or on the cup itself is the quantity. So a lot of times these are one each.
If it's a trio.
But if we have a trio or a pair, proven pair, so that information goes on as well. Why do we have a sheet, a piece of paper?
On the top of the cups also for the ones that you know the sex. We put the pink dot for girls, blue dot for guys. And everybody asks us every single time.
Show. What is the blue dot? I don't. Do you have any females?
And I will put female on a label as well. If we know it's a female, I will mark it female or male too.
Yeah.
What was your question? Oh, the sheet. The sheet has a column that says crusteds. It has the original price and it has the actual price that we sold it. Because sometimes when we have large groups go at once, we give discounts. Or if there's certain people that get discounts or whatever, if you have something running special, then I can adjust that price that way. And I know it's been sold. And then I have a column that said leopards and then picta and then the miscellaneous geckos that we have. And then I have another sheet that's all isopods. And on that one, I have a sheet column that's the name of the isopod, how many we took with us, and then how many we've sold, and then the exception section also. The reason we have how many we took is because sometimes people say, do you have any of this left? I can look at my sheet faster than I can try to locate them on the table because there's so many kinds.
It also helps us that how many we're bringing, the quantity that we're bringing helps us for the next show. We use that, for more analytics afterwards. So different sections on the sheet, depending on the type of animal or isopod. And then on each section, you have the ID, the type of animal, and the quantity that we brought, but not price.
On the sheet?
On the sheet, no price.
On the sheet, yes, I do. The sheet has the number for the animal. That's all it has.
Okay.
And then it has the price that we've priced it at, and then the blank column for what we sold it at. The price tags also go on the top of the containers when we finish out and we price everything out. And
price is usually like the last thing that we do. There's actually times where Nanette will be adding anything to the sheet if she needs to, looking at the animals, making any changes, Saturday night, and we'll sit down with 12 animals and say, okay, how much should we sell this for? And she and I will go through that process. How much time Saturday? How much time do you spend Saturday?
Well, I would say catching time is 2 to 3 hours, depending on how much we're taking.
So we're talking,
and how fast you work and not work.
So we're talking about 2 hours. So that's 4 hours in total between the two of us for catching. And again, that's isopods, geckos, and other animals.
And then my sheet, maybe another hour, depending on what you've changed or not changed, or if I need to fix something.
Just kind of clean up.
Clean up stuff. And then sometimes I also print out my hard goods sheet because I've had that already ready to go. And that's ready because I've already inventoried everything. And then I know what I've sold for the different types of isopod food and the chows and all that stuff. I'm trying to think what else.
One of the key reasons why we have this sheet is so that we can keep track of everything during the show. Otherwise, if you have a table full of animals, trying to keep track of that is impossible. Getting home, and you do a great job with this, especially from an accounting standpoint, getting home and having X number of dollars in your hand and you're $150 short, but you look at your list and say, oh, I forgot to mark, or Wally forgot to mark this animal being sold. It's a good balancing, good way to balance all of that information.
Well, it's also easier when I total everything out because you have it all subcategorized in your spreadsheet, crusteds, picta, and then I can go through and just total that column and hand you this is what we did at the show.
In my income and expense for Supreme Gecko, I have a line for the show itself, and then each column is what we sold and ultimately the expenses that we incurred during the show. What else Saturday? Are we done?
I think so.
The only other thing
I'm
is
trying to
any
think.
promotional kind of things,
Right.
PR things, postings, things like that. So we probably have 2 to 3 hours each of us. Maybe me a little tiny bit more for posting and answering questions. Sunday, tell me about a show that starts at 10 o'clock on a Sunday. What time do we usually get up? Let's say it's an hour drive.
I'd say we're up by 6 o'clock then.
Yeah, I would say that we're probably up by 5:30 to 6 o'clock because usually a show that starts at 10 has a VIP starting at 9. You have to be ready for the VIP. That's a little bit extra cost to get into the show, but you get a first shot at seeing some special animals, and that's first opportunity to buy animals. And it's actually a great time to talk to vendors and kind of get a feel for the animals, because then at 10 o'clock, if the show is at 10 o'clock, it gets really, really busy. So we're up at 6, eat some food, wash our faces, grab a coffee, and we're out the door. We pack the animals, obviously, and we're out the door. Did I miss anything?
No.
Get to the show, boxes come out, tablecloths, lights, animals, supplies, and we're ready at 9 o'clock to do the show. Now, sometimes I'll bring the camera and I'll videotape, I'll record, and get some film, some B-roll for some of the videos. But usually by 9 o'clock, we're ready to talk to the customers. 10 o'clock, doors open, and it's a mad rush, and we're selling. And I'm just kind of throwing money your way because I don't like to deal with the money in that doggone sheet and marking things down. Let's say the show ends at 4, just to come up with because they're all so different. Check your local show to make sure that that you know the times. So let's say the show ends at 4. By about 2:30, unfortunately, I haven't walked around yet, so I'll probably do a swing through. That's probably an hour while you sit there and pay attention to the customers. But it's my chance to talk to some of the vendors that I normally don't get to talk to. It's my chance to walk by a table and say, hey, do you have any? And they'll say, yeah, we sold them about 4 hours ago when the show started. Oh, so 4 o'clock, what happens?
4 o'clock, the lights are off and we start putting away the hard goods. The sign starts to come down. Anything but animals get put away until the very last minute, because there's still people that are walking, and sometimes our vendors are coming around and they're like, hey, wait, I saw you had this. I want to grab that. I want this really quick. Sometimes we have stores that are, vendors that are there, and they come up and they're like, okay, you've got this, this, and this. And then we're making deals and selling out the last stuff. So we always take the animals off last. So in case there is that last minute customer in there, they can at least see our animals.
It never, ever fails. Never. I don't know. I can't remember a show where we haven't had customers after closing time. And half the time it's regular customers. Half the time it's vendors. Sometimes it's store owners looking for, I'll buy, these 20 cups of isopods or 40 cups of isopods. How much will you give me off? I'll give you $5 off this 40 cup.
That's you, not me.
Yeah. And that's the hard part. You want to move animals, but that if you're doing other shows, that you'll have them available for future shows as well.
One thing at the beginning of the show that you didn't mention, we put everything out on the table and we get going. You always go through the animals and make sure they're okay. And you always clean cups, because they've been bagged the day before. They're going to have gone to the bathroom in the cup. So you always give them fresh paper towel and fresh water at the beginning of the show right away.
It never fails. It never fails. Even if we catch the animals 5 minutes before we're putting them in the car the day of the show, if we get to the show an hour later, every single one has pooped in the cup and I have to clean and rewater and everything. Yeah, good point. Very good point. So that takes me about a half hour or so, other than the time that Nanette's doing her setup, especially for the isopods. I'm working with the animals. Then we both work on the sign and other things about the show tables until we're ready. 4 o'clock, 4:15, everybody's pretty much done. We're throwing stuff in the boxes.
No. We are not. We are putting things away the right way.
It's Christopher, my oldest son, and I.
So that I don't have to spend 3 hours on Friday rebacking the boxes that you messed up. So I'm very picky with the boxes.
I tell you what, it's a pleasure to then the next show bring stuff out and not see, I don't know, animals,
Empty soda
hopefully not
cans
animals,
and candy
but empty soda
wrappers.
cans and electric in the
Shirt box.
and things like that. Absolutely. So usually then by 4:45, 5 o'clock, we're done packing up. Probably earlier than that.
It depends if you stop and chat.
Hop in the car, and which I always do. Hop in the car, drive home. Now it's, let's say, whatever, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Then we put away animals. Putting away animals usually takes about, I would say a half hour.
The most.
Yeah, at the most. Usually it's pretty quick. For the geckos, I just dump them all into one container and wait until Monday to take care of it. No, I don't do that.
You know that thing called lottery mix?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think happens to all those isopods?
So then, that night we're pretty relaxed. I get tons and tons and tons of messages Sunday. Unfortunately, then I don't really answer a whole lot because we're just exhausted.
And hangry.
And it's dinner and then probably a movie and then we're off to bed. So Monday comes around. Monday is kind of a cleanup. Anything from the show that we need to do, anything that we can catch up on right away. We need to order something. So we do that. I answer a lot of messages Monday. We still have some hanger-ons that say, if you didn't sell this at the show, let me know. Usually, hopefully, then we have a lot of empty gecko tubs that then come down and then get cleaned completely and go right back on the shelves empty. And that's probably the biggest part of my Monday is doing the cleanup for all the empty tubs. And that usually takes me probably a couple of hours to do all of that. And then Monday, since we haven't really fed Saturday or Sunday, Monday is a feeding day.
And shipping.
Monday is a shipping day, and that takes another, I would say, probably an hour or so. So the whole process. Anything else you can think of?
I'm trying to think. I think you got everything, really.
The whole process is a lot of time and effort. It's so enjoyable. There's nothing like standing at a show table talking to people about the passion that you have, seeing little kids handle geckos for the first time, seeing mom and dad handle a gecko for the first time. Nothing like it, folks. I can't suggest more than vending a show, or at least if you're not vending, go to a show and talk to the vendors and look at animals and look at all the amazing animals that are out there. Talking about anything else about the time?
No, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's a little bit here and there, and we've learned not to do it all on a Saturday, which we used to for the shows. And I mean, there were days that you would not touch your sheet until Saturday morning, what we were taking to a show. So now that we've broken it down during the week and time managed it a little bit better, it doesn't seem so daunting to get ready for the shows.
Exactly. And real quick, I want to show what we're bringing to this Sewer Fest. So
you already know.
I'm going to show some pictures of what we're bringing to
Where's
Sewer Fest. If you're going to Sewer Fest, make sure you watch this. I'll post this on a couple of pages then, obviously today and tomorrow, at least by tomorrow. If you're not going to the Sewer Fest, if you're looking for animals, even if you are going to Sewer Fest, let me know if you're looking for something specific so we can then reserve the animals before the show, because I tell you what, these animals, again, they're going to sell out, and I just want to make sure that you get the animals. If you're not going to the show, give me a ring and make sure that you reserve these so that we don't come home Monday and I update the store page. There's another thing I missed, update the store page with all the animals that have sold. Let's take a look.
So you don't have the final list right now, is what you're saying?
I don't have the final list.
Because I could do it early.
You could do it early, but you're not going to. So we're going to take all kinds of different isopods. Let me just show you some of the isopods that we're going to take. Armadillidium corsareum. We're going to take, let me jump over to the page. We should be able to take for the first time some Armadillidium gastroi. Gastroi. We should be able to take, I shouldn't say might, we should be able to take some klugi, the clowns. We should be able to take some, we absolutely will have some Sodom Pearl. And I say should be because, again, somebody could come in and we might have 3 or 4 available and we might sell them before the show. We'll certainly have dwarf whites. Boy, that's a small picture because they're so small. We'll certainly have dwarf whites. Let me go from dwarf to giant. We'll absolutely have some Hoffman Sagi.
I can see I have things to change already.
And We absolutely will have dairy cows.
Okay.
We'll have one of my favorites, orange koi. Make sure that you check our table out because I work real hard with keeping these colors with the orange koi. And we should have, excuse me, we should have some millipedes, some smoky oaks, which are super cool. Yeah, I didn't include Punta Canas. Some of these specific animals that we're bringing this gecko. If you're looking at these animals and you want to go back to the store, this is number 11, CR20011. We're bringing number 60. Look at those Dalmatians. I love the color on the sides. We're bringing 62. This is a male. We're bringing 66, another male with great pins, great pins. We're bringing some oddball geckos again, as always, Chondrodactylus pulitzeri. We're bringing some gargoyles. So we're bringing this one. This is number 4. We're bringing number 5, and these photos are not colored up at all, folks. This is number 7. This is the second photo of number 7, and we're bringing number 9. And I think that's it. Here's a second photo of number 9, and we're bringing number 10. We're bringing some leopard geckos too. So these are tangerine sunglows. And we should have some banded geckos as well, Coleonyx. And we should have, and I'm saying should because they could sell out beforehand. We're bringing some Goniasaurus juliensis. These are the cave geckos. We'll bring Hemidactylus tanganicus, one of our favorite starter African geckos there are. They're just beautiful and easy to keep animals. And that is it.
Well, that's not it. I mean, we've got tons of
animals. That's it. All the pictures that I have to show.
If that's all we're taking, then I should probably get done in half an hour.
Yeah, we're going to take those 11 different. This is going to be a fun show. Sewerfest, I want to say again, Sewerfest is one of our absolutely favorite shows. There's a lot of great shows in Wisconsin, Northern Illinois. We're very fortunate to have some great show coordinators, some great show organizers. Each and every one of them just do an outstanding job. But I have to give special props to Shane because he has been for many years on top of it and really knows what he's doing with what I consider probably the second greatest show in the Midwest, just past NARBC Tinley Park in the fall. This is the show that's probably absolutely one of my favorites. So see us if you get a chance to go to Sewerfest. Make sure that you stop by, say hi, take a look at our animals, and it would be just great if you're on YouTube or Facebook. You have a different ID. Introduce yourself so that we know who you are. Anything else in that you have?
Not that I can think of, except for you need to get busy on that sheet.
I do. If you have a chance, take a look at Buy Me a Coffee. If you like these videos, make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe, and the notification. But check out Buy Me a Coffee as well. We may have a special guest with us on Sunday. Oh, is that good or bad? I think it's good. Okay, very good. We'll have to see. Come to the show and see our special guest. I probably know who that is. I'm hoping. All right. Thanks a lot, folks. Goodbye. Bye-bye.